The call came at 10:47 a.m. on a Tuesday morning in January 2012. Kid Cudi was probably still in bed when his dog sitter's voice shattered the California morning. "Scott, you need to get home right now. Your car is on fire." When Kid Cudi raced home, his beautiful blue Porsche convertible was now a twisted, blackened skeleton. The convertible roof had been sliced open with surgical precision. Inside sat the remnants of a Molotov cocktail, an Old English 800 bottle, gasoline, and a designer handkerchief. This wasn't random. This was personal. And Kid Cudi knew exactly who had done this.
It's the burned Porsche that is a key piece of evidence the prosecution is using in the trafficking and racketeering trial of Sean Diddy Combs.
The man who had introduced him to Cassie Ventura just months earlier, Sean Diddy Combs. But this car bombing was just the beginning of a pattern that would emerge over the next decade. A pattern involving not one, but two explosive love triangles that would eventually bring down one of the most powerful men in entertainment. The first triangle, Diddy, his longtime girlfriend Cassie, and Kid Cudi. The second triangle, Diddy, model Daphne Joy, and her baby father 50 Cent. Both triangles would end in violence, intimidation, and federal charges. Both would expose a man who allegedly used his power to control, manipulate, and terrorize anyone who dared to cross him. The DNA evidence from that bombed car is now sitting in a federal courtroom in 2025, where prosecutors are using it to prove that Sean Combs ran a criminal enterprise built on egg trafficking, systematic mistreatment, and terror. Triangle 1, the Cassie incident. Let's start with the first triangle. In 2005, 19-year-old Cassie Ventura walked into Bad Boy Records with dreams of stardom. Diddy was 35, worth hundreds of millions, at the peak of his power. From the moment Cassie signed, Diddy allegedly took control of every aspect of her life. By 2007, they were romantically involved. But according to court documents, the relationship quickly became what prosecutors call systematic mistreatment. The physical mistreatment allegedly began in 2007. According to Cassie's lawsuit, Diddy would strike her, but carefully, making sure injuries could be covered up. Then came the freak-offs, elaborate encounters with male companions that Diddy would allegedly orchestrate and film. For years, Cassie stayed trapped. But in 2011, Diddy made a decision that would lead to his downfall. He introduced Cassie to Kid Cudi. Scott Mescudi was riding high on success. He was kind, gentle, and treated Cassie with respect. For her, meeting Kid Cudi was allegedly a revelation. She had forgotten what it felt like to be treated as a person rather than property. When they started spending time together, Diddy's reaction was swift. According to testimony, he called Cassie with a menacing message. The escalation was immediate. Diddy allegedly broke into Kid Cudi's house, went through his belongings, and locked his dog in the bathroom. When Kid Cudi called him directly, Diddy's response was chilling. "I'm here. I'm over here waiting for you."
Now, when Cudi got home, no one actually was there. But he said security cameras had been moved, angled away from where they were originally pointed before he left his home. And his dog, who normally roamed free around the house, was suddenly locked in the bathroom.
According to Cassie's lawsuit, Diddy told her exactly what he was planning next. He was going to blow up Kid Cudi's car. The attack came on that Tuesday morning in January 2012. The bombing showed clear signs of targeting. Another expensive car parked right next to it wasn't touched. The psychological impact was devastating.
He testified he met with Diddy at a members-only club the next day. Sean Combs was standing there like a Marvel supervillain, and how neither of them seemed to know that the other was actually dating her at the same time.
Eventually, Cassie broke and went back to Diddy. He had allegedly won through intimidation and terror. Triangle 2, the Daphne Joy revelation, fast forward to 2021. While Diddy's relationship with Cassie had ended in 2018, prosecutors allege his pattern of behavior continued with other women. Enter Daphne Joy, model, influencer, and mother of 50 Cent's son Sire. According to testimony that emerged this week, a woman identified only as Jane Doe took the stand in Diddy's federal trial. While her identity hasn't been officially confirmed, multiple sources and 50 Cent's own social media posts have fueled speculation that this witness is Daphne Joy.
What did you tell him about your past? I dated someone he knew. It's 50's girlfriend. Oh my God. That's 50's bitch up there, chat. So also, my child's father didn't get along with Sean. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's Diddy.
According to the testimony, Jane dated Diddy from 2021 until his 2024 arrest. She testified that she and Diddy discussed the fact that her baby father was 50 Cent, Diddy's longtime rival. This creates the second explosive triangle. Diddy allegedly pursuing the mother of his enemy's child. The timing is particularly striking. 50 Cent and Diddy have been feuding since 2006, when 50 released The Bomb, accusing Diddy of knowing who really ended Biggie Smalls. For nearly 20 years, 50 has been Diddy's most vocal critic, constantly trolling him on social media. According to the testimony, Jane described encounters with Diddy that allegedly follow the same pattern prosecutors have been establishing throughout the trial: controlling behavior, pressure, and situations that made her uncomfortable. The witness testified about situations involving substances and multiple participants. She described Diddy's alleged reaction when she tried to distance herself, becoming aggressive and threatening, using his power and influence to try to control her. 50 Cent's reaction to the speculation has been telling. He posted cryptic messages and courtroom sketches, asking, "Does anyone know who Jane Doe is?" seemingly trolling both Diddy and his ex. The federal case. The raids came at dawn on March 25, 2024. Federal agents surrounded Diddy's mansions, executing search warrants as part of an egg trafficking investigation. What they found was devastating. Thousands of bottles of baby oil and lubricant, substances, weapons including AR-15 parts, recording equipment, and hard drives full of videos that prosecutors call evidence of criminal activity. In September 2024, Diddy was arrested on federal charges: racketeering conspiracy, egg trafficking, and transportation to engage in inappropriate activities. If convicted, he could face life in prison. The prosecution's case centers on what they call a criminal enterprise that used Diddy's legitimate businesses to facilitate illegal activities. They argue that both love triangles show a pattern: Diddy allegedly using his power to control women and intimidate anyone who threatened that control. The defense, led by Brian Steele, who recently got Young Thug out of a RICO case, argues differently. Steele claims that Cassie's $20 million settlement gives her financial incentive to lie. He argues the freak-offs were consensual adult activities and that being wealthy with unconventional preferences doesn't make someone a criminal. Regarding the car bombing, Steele suggests it could have been anyone. He argues that one moment of poor judgment doesn't make someone an egg trafficker. As for the Jane Doe testimony, the defense hasn't yet cross-examined this witness, but they're likely to challenge her credibility and motivations as well. The bigger picture. What makes these two triangles particularly explosive is how they intersect with Diddy's most public feuds. Kid Cudi was an up-and-coming artist who Diddy himself had introduced to Cassie. 50 Cent has been Diddy's most vocal critic for 2 decades. In both cases, prosecutors alleged Diddy couldn't tolerate the idea of his women being with men he saw as rivals or threats. The car bombing allegedly sent a message to the entire industry about what happened to people who crossed Sean Combs. The Daphne Joy situation, if confirmed, would show an even more calculated pattern: allegedly pursuing the mother of his enemy's child, then potentially mistreating her when the relationship soured. What do you believe? So here we are. The jury has heard testimony about 2 separate love triangles spanning over a decade. They've seen evidence of a bombed car, heard testimony about systematic mistreatment, and viewed thousands of pieces of evidence from federal raids. But they've also heard the defense argue that this is all about money, revenge, and conspiracy. What do you think when you see that hotel surveillance video of Diddy dragging Cassie down the hallway? Is that evidence of systematic mistreatment? Or one bad moment that doesn't define someone's character? When you hear about Kid Cudi's bombed car, someone did it, that's not disputed. Prosecutors say it was Diddy sending a message. The defense suggests it could have been anyone. But what are the odds that it's a coincidence? What about the Jane Doe testimony? If it is Daphne Joy, does that show a pattern of Diddy targeting women connected to his rivals? Or is this just another person with potential motivations to lie? Look at 50 Cent's 20-year feud with Diddy. Was he trying to warn us about something? Or was he just a bitter rival who's now seeing his enemy fall and can't resist trolling? Consider the evidence from those federal raids. Thousands of bottles of baby oil, substances, weapons, recording equipment. How do you explain all of that? What innocent reason could there be? But the defense makes a point. Being wealthy and having unusual preferences doesn't make you a criminal. Rich people do weird things. That doesn't mean they're traffickers. Here's what we know for certain. 2 love triangles. 2 instances of alleged intimidation and control. 2 patterns of behavior spanning over a decade. A 19-year-old girl signed to Bad Boy Records in 2005. By 2018, she was fleeing in terror. A model dated one of the most powerful men in entertainment from 2021 to 2024. Now she's testifying in federal court. Sean Combs is worth hundreds of millions. He has power, influence, connections everywhere. If he wanted to destroy someone's reputation, he could. So why didn't he? Why are we here today watching his empire crumble? Maybe because some truths are too big to hide, or maybe because we're living in a time when money can't buy immunity from consequences. When you look at all the evidence, the testimonies, the videos, the recordings, the raids, the pattern across 2 separate triangles, what makes more sense? A massive conspiracy involving federal agents, multiple victims, and elaborate lies? Or a powerful man who used his position to control and mistreat women? This case isn't just about Sean Combs. It's about what we choose to believe. Whether we believe victims when they speak out or assume they're lying for money. Whether powerful men should be held to the same standards as everyone else. The jury will make their decision based on the law and evidence. But you don't have to wait for their verdict. What does your gut tell you? What do you believe when you strip away the lawyers and legal arguments and just look at the human story underneath? 2 love triangles. 2 alleged patterns of control and intimidation. Multiple women saying they were mistreated by the same man. Is that enough for you? Or do you need more? The Diddy files are open. The evidence is out there. The testimonies have been given. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below.